All right, guys, we're live now.
Good evening, everybody. This is the City of South Fulton Community Zoning Information Meeting for Monday, August 9th, 2021. Thank you all for joining. We have two cases for your for the presentation this evening. We can go to the next slide, please. As always, please send your comments tonight to the planning email address. We will either answer them as soon as we receive them, or we will be able to respond back to you, within the next day or so, as soon as we get them. The email address is on your screen. It's planning@cityofsouthfultonga.gov. And everybody, I say it every time, everyone always forgets the GA. So it's cityofsouthfultonga.gov. The rezoning tonight will be heard at the August 17th Planning Commission meeting. That's next week. And the September 14th Council Zoning hearing. Variances will be heard at the August 19th Zoning Board of Appeals, which is next Thursday. Let me go to the next slide, please. First case tonight is Z2112, a rezoning at 0 Stonewall Tell. We can go to the next slide, please. Here, the petitioner is requesting a rezoning from AG1 and Sub A. The property has two different zoning designations to CUP for the purpose of developing a single-family detached residential subdivision. The proposal is for just 29 homes. The proposal is in compliance with the future land use map. We can go to the next slide, please. Here you see an aerial map of where the proposal is. The pin drop is right in the middle of your screen there. It is the property immediately to the southwest of that, right below. It is undeveloped right next to the subdivision and across Stonewall Tell from the undeveloped dirt parcels you see on the screen. It is directly in the center of your screen. We can go to the next slide, please. Here is the zoning map on the left of the property. You will see it is both the property that is a triangular piece in blue and the property is immediately to the right of it. You can see the zoning as Sub A and AG1. On the right, you can see the future land use map showing the parcels here as suburban neighborhood. So again, this proposal would be in compliance with the land use map. We can go to the next slide, please. This is a site plan submitted by the petitioner. It shows, again, all single-family lots. They would all have two-car front-facing garages and at least 2 cars of parking available on the driveways for each lot you see here. And the little community amenity area would be at the top of the screen with a small walking track, green space, and I believe that's a little fire pit or dog park right there. We can go to the next slide, please. These are two images of similar spec homes sent in by the petitioner. This is the end of the staff presentation. Is the petitioner on the call with us right now?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Danny. You can share your screen if you'd like.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you would be showing this. Let me just get that open.
No problem. All right, go ahead, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. So I'm Danny Blumenthal. I work with Battle Law PC, and we're representing the applicant here. So as Nathan said, we're trying to rezone, or we're seeking to rezone 2 parcels on Stonewall Tell and Campbellton Road. So the applicant Venture Communities LLC is seeking to rezone those 2 parcels from AG1 and Sub A to CUP.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's actually a 23-unit single-family detached community that we're proposing that was amended based on comments from the community members. So we did drop that number down. And that was sent in last week. And then also this is an age targeted. It's changed now to be an age targeted, not age restricted, but age targeted community. So 55 plus is the idea there because they're all master on Main. And that really was an attempt for the applicant to respond to concerns about traffic congestion in the area, because a lot of people in this community would not be, driving to work during peak hours, and things like that. But this would be open to anyone, just to be clear. So Venture Communities has quite a few developments in the area, including Barrington Trace, Wolf Creek, Wind Creek Estates, Milestone, and also you can go to their website, venturecommunitiesga.com, if you want to see more about that. I'm going to skip over these because Nathan already discussed, but it's these properties here, this triangular one, and then this one down here as well. And the same thing there. So this is the updated site plan. This was submitted last Friday. So the other site plan that you saw had 29 units. This has only 23 units. So there's a drop there, and then it'll have 5.6 acres of open space. And still in that northern corner up there, there's still the community area with the walking trail, fire pit, dog park, and other green space. So these are the same homes that Nathan showed. And then just some of the frequently asked questions that we get from community members. So the proposed building materials are board and batten, shake, lap siding, other cementatious materials, and then brick and stone. Unit sizes will be between 2,000 and 2,600 square feet of heated flooring. It'll be 2 to 3 bedrooms with 2.5 to 3.5 bathrooms, depending on which house plan. Each house will have a 2-car garage, all front entry, amenities, the pavilion with fire pit, dog park, and that grass common area that I showed in the northern corner of the property. It won't be gated, but there will be security systems offered to homeowners individually. Anticipated list price of each home is between $340,000 and $380,000. The anticipated building start date, it'd be 12 months from the rezoning to develop the land, and then 14 months from rezoning to actually being able to sell the homes. And Venture Communities does not sell to investors. So I think that's a really important thing for people, that they sell homes to people, to homeowners, not to investors. And then also just one last thing to mention, we will be meeting with the Sandtown Community Association on the 16th. So at that point, we'll see kind of if they have any lingering questions or concerns. And then if we need to defer at that point, then we would, be willing to field that. But at this point, we are hoping to get on to the next hearing date. And yeah, that is all. So,
Danny, thank you very much. You are on the agenda for the 17th. I'll make sure your updated plans and proposals get into the information for the Planning Commission.
Thank you.
Dana, has any new questions come in?
No, we do not have any questions.
Okay, Danny, thanks so much. And we will talk to you later on.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, we can go to the next slide. All right, this is a variance case. Will be heard at next week's Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, V21003, a variance at 5495 Old National. We can go to the next slide, please. Applicant here is seeking a variance from the Old National overlay guidelines in order to install roll-down doors at Grown Folks Cafe and Bar. Section 51109E of the zoning ordinance states that steel roll-down curtains are prohibited on the exterior and interior of the structure, except at the structure's rear. So again, they're looking for a variance from this part of the zoning code. The doors have been installed. So the petition here is seeking a retroactive variance for work that has been done. We can go to the next slide, please. The pin on the middle of your screen here in the aerial map shows the location of the cafe. You can see Old National is right on the right, the main street going down the middle of the map in front of you. We can go to the next slide, please. Here we have the zoning map on the left and future land use map on the right, showing that the current use and zoning are in compliance with our current regulations. We can go to the next slide, please. Now, these are pictures submitted by the petitioner of what the work currently looks like. So what the petitioner did was install the roll down doors in order to have a more open eating area. I'm assuming this was done for social distancing and ventilation precautions due to the pandemic. But you can see this is what it currently looks like. The door is down on the right, and the door is just partially retracted over on the left. One is the front, and I believe one is the side of the cafe. We can go to the next slide, please. These are some views from the inside of the space. You can see the roll-up doors that have been hung at the top of the windows facing outward. We can go to the next slide, please. And this is what it looks like when the door is closed on the inside. That is the end of the staff presentation, and I will turn it over to the petitioners who are on the call.
Hi there, John Quell Peters on behalf of Grown Folks Cafe. The presentation was pretty comprehensive. Thank you. Yes, we are requesting use of the roll down doors on the front and side of the building. And you did state correctly to create an outdoor space, particularly this was done in consideration of the pandemic that we're still in and is still here with us. This is obviously a restaurant, and restaurants have been hit pretty hard by the pandemic. So the Grown Folks Cafe, Harriet Bryant, the owner of the business, is looking to create a space where clients can come and eat safely with the pandemic still upon us. In addition to the fact that the roll down doors can be used in this district on the side, in the back of buildings. We have seen quite a bit of use of the roll down doors, whether it's gas stations or car washes, other stations, other areas, other businesses, throughout the district. Based upon where this particular building is situated in the plaza, there is no other option to create an outdoor seating space. She's right next to the road where there's sort of a retention area. There's no space next to her on the other side of the business. There's no space behind, and the space in front is parking space that cannot certainly be used for this purpose. Let's see, and certainly the special conditions that we've articulated in our petition are those of the pandemic, and that's certainly not anything that was in the control of the petitioner, of the building, the business owner in this case. And this was one of the ways in which we has been determined that could alleviate sort of this hardship that is due to the situation of the building in the plaza, unable to expand behind it, to the left of it, or to the right of it, was to create an indoor-outdoor space. The business also properly permits a second bar in the outdoor space. I'm not sure if it's visible necessarily from any of the pictures that we had, but there is a properly permitted second bar, and this also provides an extra layer of security for the bar. And with that, that is our case, and that is what we are presenting, and respectfully ask that this variance be granted.
Ms. Peters, thank you for that. I do have one question for you. When it's open, when there's people there, it could be night or rainy or cold, or are these doors here open, regardless of the weather or time? I guess that's my question.
Yes, so I would, if there is an extraordinary deluge, I would have to. I'll toss it over to Harriet. But these doors are open. These doors are open all the time. Is probably a bit more expansive than, but they are open regularly. So this is.
Yes, and I would like to add the winter months we will have the outdoor heating that's used for the patio, so people can sit out on the patio with the doors open with the proper heating lamps outside.
Okay.
And we did not have any questions in our we did submit our public participation plan report. We have not had any questions or any negative feedback with regard to the request.
All right, Dana, have any emails coming to the planning email address?
No, we don't have any emails.
Okay. Well, we thank you very much. We can go to the next slide. I believe it's just the thank you slide. Yes. As always, if there's any questions, please feel free to contact us in the office, or you can send a note to the planning email address, which again is planning@cityofsouthfultonga.gov. And this is the end of our community zoning meeting for this evening. I thank you all for watching. And if you watch it in the future, I thank you for watching it then. Otherwise, everybody have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.